What is going on, you guys? Welcome back to another video and to the channel. Today I am super excited because I finally have a pretty significant mod to do on my E90 328i back here. So a while back when I posted my video on my exhaust setup that I have on the 328i with the muffler and resonator delete, some of you actually suggested that I do a 335i style dual exhaust conversion on my 328i. Now, I'd actually thought of doing that before in the past, but I actually decided against it because I felt like it was pretending that the car was really a 335i when it was really just a 328i. I don't really like doing that. But thinking about it recently now, I do think that the dual exits would look cleaner than just the dual single exits that come just on the 328i, like right there. So if you take a look at the car here, if you guys have been following the channel, you know that I've done a lot of things to this car and it looks really aggressive and it looks super clean. And I've pretty much been satisfied with every part of the car in terms of how it looks, except for the exhaust. The single dual exit just isn't really doing it for me. The way it looks, I feel like doesn't match with the rest of the car. And I think the 335i style dual exhaust would look a lot cleaner with the rest of the car. So that's pretty much why I decided to do it this time. So I've pretty much been planning to do this for the last few months, but if I were to do this conversion, I would need to get a new diffuser, obviously. So I've literally just been waiting on the diffuser that has the two exit holes for the dual exhaust. I bought it off of eBay since that's the only place I could really find one. And it was from out of state, I'm guessing, which is why it took so long. It literally took like 2.5 months to get here, and it finally just came a couple days ago. So yeah, that is what is going to be happening in this video. I already talked to the exhaust shop and they are going to do this for me. It's just literally I've been waiting on the diffuser. So finally we can do it. So I'm going to be going to the exhaust shop today and getting this done. But before I go there, I just want to show you guys the diffuser, and then I'm actually going to take this diffuser off so that they don't have to at the shop. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and take a look at the other diffuser. So here is the dual exhaust diffuser that I got from eBay. Like I said, this one was $150 with shipping and everything. It was like $50 for shipping because it was out of state, out of the US. But this is what it looks like, and it pretty much looks exactly the same. It has the same performance style as the one I have on currently, with just the dual single exit. The only difference is just the two exhaust exits here. It's pretty much just like a piece of plastic, which is all it needs to be, really. I probably could have gotten a carbon fiber one, but I kind of didn't want to do that. I felt like it's just too much, and there's not that much carbon fiber on the car, really, so I just feel like this is fine, and it was cheaper, so I just went with this one. I'm honestly not sure how the fitment is going to be. From what I can tell, it looks like it's not horrible, but we won't know until we attempt to secure it onto the bumper, and I won't know that until we are at the shop and doing all the work. But hopefully it fits okay, as good as the other one at least. It doesn't need to be, perfect, but just so that it looks good and it's secured on there. So yeah guys, now I'm going to go ahead and remove the other diffuser that's currently on there right now with just the dual single exit before I take the car to the shop. So I was able to get it off. It was a little bit of a struggle because these clips right here, right there, they all clip in right here and attach and hook on to the bumper. If you're thinking of doing an M Sport rear bumper conversion and thinking of getting a diffuser, that's where it connects there. And you can see my muffler delete. I had to remove that piece to get this piece out also. Alright, so I was attempting to see how this new diffuser would fit. It looks like it'll fit just fine in terms of where all the clips are, right there, and then on the bumper. The only thing I'm noticing is this piece right here. That seems like it's kind of in the way for this exhaust exit that comes out on this side. But I think we may just be able to just like cut like a piece of this out so that it won't be in the way, leaving the two mounting holes here for the screws. I think we should be able to do that without any issues. But other than that, I feel like this diffuser is going to fit just fine, pretty much the same way this one fit. So super satisfied with that. So now I'm going to go ahead and just take this back off and then drive to the exhaust shop and get this exhaust work done. Alright guys, I don't know about you, but I am so hyped right now. I know my monotone voice suggests otherwise, but inside I am doing backflips right now because this looks so good. I am so glad I did this conversion. The car looks like literally clean, 100% absolutely clean. Every part of the car looks as if it should be the way it is. If you take a walk around the rest of the car here, pretty much every part of the car is perfect now with that. It just looks so clean on every part of the car now, with the back now having the dual exhaust setup. Looks so good. So I don't know if you guys could tell in the sound clips I just showed you guys, but it pretty much sounds exactly the same, at least on the outside. However, there is one downside that I've noticed so far, and that is the sound that is on the inside of the car, because the drone has increased a pretty good amount inside the car. It is pretty much near unbearable for me. So I actually may put the Resonator back on because I don't want to drive around with that much drone, because it is annoying so far since I've been driving and since I did this conversion. So that is the only downside for me, at least. Some of you may not care about the drone, but I do. I may do that in the future here because I feel like I'm gonna get annoyed of the drone. However, it pretty much sounds really good outside the car. The exhaust sounds really aggressive from what I can tell. So yeah, there really isn't much of a difference there if you're gonna do this setup. If you have a Resonator delete and Muffler delete already like I do. So technically I still have a Muffler delete and a Resonator delete. So that is the sound it produces. I feel like it did change the sound a little bit, tiny bit maybe. I'm not sure why. Maybe with all the new piping and stuff, it just, is bouncing the sound waves in a different way than when it was just the single pipe with the single exit. But overall, still sounds good. So kind of diving into what I did, I showed you guys the montage of how they did the dual exhaust setup. They pretty much just put a Y pipe where the Resonator would end, and then just route two different pipes, one that goes right behind the diffuser here to this exhaust tip, and then a other pipe that just goes right directly out to this exhaust pipe. Now, based off my research and talking to some other people, this is pretty much the easiest way to do the dual exhaust setup. There is another way where you can remove this like storage panel inside the trunk and get a 335i style storage panel that has more room, so you could just route directly from there, so you don't have to get, go right behind the diffuser. Or you can do like a 335i complete exhaust setup. If you want to put a OEM exhaust that goes on a 335i on this car, you can, but you do have to remove this piece right here, which is like the storage panel inside the trunk. But yeah, that's pretty much how they did it. I think they did a really good job with routing all the piping and stuff and all the welding. The exhaust tips are pretty symmetrical in the exhaust exits in the diffuser. So it looks so good. I'm really satisfied with how it turned out and the type of work they did. Honestly, I was kind of nervous that they would kind of not know what they're doing, because they said they had actually never done this specific exhaust work on a 328i, doing a dual exhaust conversion. But they did it just fine. It looks excellent. I am 100% satisfied with how it looks. So the total cost to do all of this was $457. It was $180 for the two exhaust tips. I got these exhaust tips from the shop. They have a vendor, like a company they work with where they get their exhaust tips from. Apparently they don't sell to the public, so I'm not able to link these, unfortunately. But I'm pretty sure if you go to your local muffler shop, they'll have these same tips. or they could just order it for you. So if you are interested in getting these exhaust tips, the only thing I could tell you is that they're 4-inch stainless steel with this specific design here that kind of encloses. I'm not sure what that's called. I really need to learn that term, but I don't know. But that's what these exhaust tips are. They're 4-inch stainless steel with that design where it encloses there on both. So if you want to look for that, those are some terms you could use when describing the type of exhaust tips you want. The exhaust shop will probably know the term, so that shouldn't be too big of an issue if you're looking to get these tips. These tips pretty much look like the exhaust tips that are on my F30 over there. Pretty much the same exact design, just a little bit shorter. Oh, that's another thing too. If you're gonna do this, you're gonna want to get exhaust tips that are not too long. On this side it doesn't really matter, but on this side it does matter because there's so little room. You're gonna need to get, like, what is this? I believe this is like maybe 6 inches long here. Exhaust tip is like 6 inches because like I said, there's not a lot of room, so you're gonna need to get exhaust tips that are short as possible, at least like 6 inches, 5 to 6 inches like this, so that it'll fit on this side for this exhaust exit. And then also, if you guys didn't see in the video, they mounted like a little hanger right there, so this part of the exhaust wouldn't like vibrate and like move a lot up and down, because it would probably vibrate a lot if there was no hanger here. So you're gonna want to have the shop do that if they don't do it already. You could mention that. And then I have another hanger right there, and then I think one more right there. It's kind of blurry, but right there. So it was $180 for the 2 tips, and then it was $277 for the labor and then all the piping and stuff. I think that's about what it should cost. From what I've heard from other people who've already done this, that's about what they paid. So I think that's a good price. Half of it nearly was just the tips for some reason, even though they're like super small. But that's what it costs, so it'll probably be around that price if you are looking to do this on your 328i. Now as for the diffuser, like I said, I got it off eBay, the same place I got my other diffuser that just had the single exit on this side. This one was $120, but then with shipping, since it was out of the US, it was like an extra $40, so it came out to like $160, $170. But like I said, it took like 2.5 months to get here for the particular listing that I bought mine from. I did see there were multiple listings, so it may be different if you buy from another listing, but I'll link this one down, the same listing I got this one from, if you want to check that one out, if you're thinking about doing this with the M Sport bumper, M Sport rear bumper, if you have that. I do believe you could do this if you have the non-M Sport 2. You just have to cut a hole on that side for that exhaust exit. And you may, like, since this one will be cut so that it fits the dual single exit exhaust on this side, it may be uneven, so that's why it's it'll look a lot better if you have the M Sport rear bumper and you do this. It'll look just like this. Really awesome, really clean. So yeah. Now I'm pretty sure a big question you guys are gonna have is, does this have any sort of effect on the performance of the car? So from what I can tell just from driving, it pretty much drives exactly the same. There isn't really any sort of significant difference, at least. If I lost power, if I gained more power, I don't think it's anything significant that you'd notice. So there's not really too much to it. It's just, this is all for looks if you're going to do this. There isn't any sort of performance gain or performance loss from what I can tell so far and based on my research. Now I know there may have been effect on, you know, like back pressure and stuff, since the exhaust needs to have some sort of pressure to maintain, you know, a certain amount of power, or if there's not enough pressure, you'll lose power. I'm not too knowledgeable on that, but that's like a general idea of what I've heard. So that's why there may have been some sort of effect on the performance of the car. But from what I can tell, like I said, it's nothing significant. It still drives pretty much exactly the same. I can't tell any difference. So this thing is pretty solid. I am 100% satisfied with how this came out, other than the fact that the drone is a lot louder inside the car. Everything else is excellent. I am so happy I did this overall because it just looks so much better than the single exit, so much cleaner. This car is pretty much complete now. When it comes to looks, there's really nothing else to do when it comes to looks. So I don't know what's gonna happen from here, but this might very be the complete final look of my E90 328i in this Barbera Red Metallic. I get a lot of questions about the color, and it's called Barbera Red Metallic. It's a pretty rare color that they had during the E90 generation. I didn't realize how rare it was until a few years after, like, you know, owning it, and people were asking me, like, I've never seen that color. And even I have only seen like a handful of other E90s with this same color, and mine is pretty much the only one that I've seen that's still clean. I try my best to keep this clean as possible because it is a rare and very beautiful color. I'm so lucky to have this color, and now I feel like I have a pretty special E90, at least in my area. I'm so thankful that I got the opportunity to have this specific BMW E90 328i from 2009. I know I'm kind of doing like a closing out speech here for like I'm gonna get rid of this thing, but I'm not gonna get rid of this thing. I'm gonna have this thing for a very long time. I may get rid of it like way later down the road, but this is my baby. This is my car that started all this, like my passion for modifying and working on cars. It started with this car. I'm probably going to get rid of this car before I get rid of this one, because like I said, this is my special car. Like, I absolutely love this car. Yeah, this car's fun to drive, it's faster, but it doesn't hold a special place in my heart like this one does. Alright guys, so that's enough of my rambling there about all that. So that is pretty much going to do it for this video. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video and found some value in it. I tried my best to make it as detailed as possible to explain how I did this, since from what I can tell now, it's a pretty popular mod that a lot of you want to do, or those people who have a 328i with the single exit. So hopefully I was able to give you guys a clear idea of how to do this. If you have any comments or questions or anything, feel free to comment those down below. I'll try my best to help you guys out to understand and figure out how to do this. I will also link down the diffuser with the dual exits that I have on right here if you want to check that out. Now, I know some people are probably gonna say like, oh, you're just trying to make it seem like it's a 335i when it's a 328i. And no, that's not what I'm trying to do. Like, I just haven't done anything to this car in a while in terms of mods. And just because it just looks so much better, like, just look at it. With the dual exhaust setup, the rear end looks so much cleaner now. And the single exit that comes on the 320i just wasn't doing it. I'm pretty sure most of you would agree. Nothing against the 328i, like, I'm not ashamed that it's a 328i, like, I absolutely love this car. Nothing against that. If somebody asks, I'm gonna say it's a 328i with the dual exhaust conversion. I'm not trying to hide anything here. So anyway guys, thank you guys for watching. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and subscribe if you are new here. For more videos on my 328i and my F30 335i. Like I said, there probably isn't going to be a lot of mods for the 328i because I already did everything. This is pretty much the final big thing. I may think of something later down the road, but I'll still do more videos, more informational videos about the 328i. Not really mods. I'll also do maintenance probably, since I gotta do things for the 328i soon here. But anyway, I will see you guys in the next video.